Well, there's absolutely no excuse for this. Let's begin. Now, obviously, despite everyone being in the middle of a cost of living crisis, energy companies, like all other companies out there, seem to be recording bumper profit levels. British Gas is no exception, and to be honest, if this story is anything to go by, it's no wonder why they are, and if anything, I'd be surprised if this wasn't actually illegal, and there's no wonder why that they probably recorded as big a profit as they did if they also done the same things to other people out there, and hopefully they haven't. But anyway, the article says that British Gas apparently took £3,300 from a man's bank account, despite him not actually being a customer of theirs. And this man is 67, he's a pensioner, who obviously, like a lot of them, doesn't bank online, so it's no wonder why he probably didn't notice anything coming out of his account for quite some time. And there's surely no excuse for this, so how could they actually do it? I mean, was there some sort of mix-up at the bank or something like that? Because if there was, then stringent checks really do need to be put in place for when payments are actually deducted, and if the error was on British Gas's side, then there is surely no excuse for that, eh? But the article continues and says retiree Lawrence Cannon, who is 67 as I said, only spotted the improper charges in November last year, and from Halewood in Merseyside, Mr Cannon shared with the Mirror, who let's face is a bit of a lefty paper out there, I'm sure there's better papers he could have chose, but anyway, he said, I don't bank online to be honest, and I don't often go through my bank statements in much detail. But when he did scrutinise a £215 payment to British Gas, that did spike his interest, shall we say. Mr Cannon said, I saw it say British Gas and then above that OVO, who I'm with. And it turns out that British Gas started showing on his account from November 2021, varying from a mere £29 a month to a steep or vertical, in my opinion, £215 a month, which for anyone is quite a lot of money to come out your account, isn't it? On discovering this, though, Mr Cannon rang up the energy giant, and obviously prolonged discussions happened, didn't they? With obviously a promise of an investigation, but these things don't tend to happen that quickly, do they? And unfortunately, he then received no word from British Gas, which, if anything, is just disgraceful. If you have someone ringing up your company saying, what are you doing taking money out of my account? I'm not with you. They should be able to see instantly that those payments have come into their accounts from you, once you give them your account number, and then cross-reference checks if they're a customer or not, and if not, they should instantly be able to stop it and return their money back to you. There shouldn't be an investigation, should there? Either way, though, I personally do think he should be getting some sort of compensation for this, because this is just absolutely disgraceful, isn't it? And I'm sure if it was the other way round, if he owed them $3,300, they would insist on it. In fact, if anything, they'd more than likely send him bailiffs, I'm guessing. And he attempted to call them again, but ended up being stuck in that automated phone system. And remember, for someone who might not be technologically minded, that might be an absolutely massive pain in the bum, because let's face it, at this day and age, how rare is it you actually do get to talk to a human being at the end of pressing all sorts of numbers on your keypad to try and get through to one? The thing is, though, it asked for a customer number, but not being a customer, he couldn't give him one, could he? And therefore, there presumably should be just some option to bypass all that and just speak to someone. Well, of course, unable to fix this by himself, he called, or rather reached out, to Daily Mirror. And after their intervention, shall we say, British Gas unravelled the error and reimbursed Mr Cannon all the improperly deducted £3,344. And grateful Mr Cannon said, I thought I was snookered. I was starting to panic and losing sleep. That is all, though, it seems. Just £3,344. Where's the compensation for the lost interest or whatever he would have had from a bank account if he had it in there? So what caused all this then? I mean, how were they able to get his bank account details? Well, it says that British Gas found out the trouble had started when they got accounts from British Energy, a small company that apparently went bust in 2021. And they were supposed to look after People Energy's customers, but accidentally used Mr Cannon's details. Wait for this. They used Mr Cannon's bank details for someone else. Which is just laughable, isn't it? How can a company do that? I'm guessing that probably is some sort of typo or something like that, but aren't checks put in place to make sure the name goes with the account number? I mean, you would just think that is second nature today, wouldn't you? But appears not, eh? British Gas, though, they said the mistake was just a one-time thing and no one else has had the same problem. Well, hopefully they're right, although to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if one or two might come out of the woodwork, but we'll just have to wait and see. A person speaking, though, for British Gas mentioned that Mr Cannon's details were incorrectly provided to us by People's Energy, and we appreciate this has been a frustrating time and we're sorry that it wasn't sorted sooner. And we have been in touch to help resolve this and received full credit back in his bank account. Well, if I was Mr Cannon, I would be seeking much more compensation and maybe, who knows, even get the Ombudsman involved, but that's, I guess, up to him, isn't it? But strangely, British Gas also shared that their profits jumped up a lot, to wait for it, £751 million last year. And get this big increase was helped, of course, by about £500 million for higher energy prices for energy that it recouped from customer bills last year. Well, if anything, I don't know about you, but if anything, that to me just shows how greedy these energy companies are. I mean, admittedly, yes, they all reckoned they would go on bust or losing out profits when energy bills first went up because of the price cap, but then did they have to recoup so much from us customers by basically putting the bills up so much? And yes, I know Ofgem actually gives them a limit that they can go to, but that's a limit. They don't have to go to it, do they? But of course, it seems they think of their wallets all the time. And in my opinion, them not offering him compensation is just proof of that, isn't it?